Hello, guys and girls. Yeah, my name is Paul, and I'm also part of GREENBOATS. Actually, together with Friedrich, I'm a co-managing director of the company, and it's probably the first time that you see me, unless you've been coming to our trade shows, and we might have met in person. And yeah, typically in the foreground of what's going on at GREENBOATS are our talented craftsmen and engineers. And that's also good because they are the real heroes of this story. But you have to keep in mind that we also have very ambitious goals with our technology, and we do not only want to build prototypes, but we want to bring our know-how, our materials into everyday products. And in order to do that, romance is not enough. We also have to make the next step, and we're in the process of building a company, bigger and growing company. Today we're about 15 people, and we hope, well, 2 years from now we're going to be around 50. And that is, for all of us, a very, very exciting journey. And therefore we figured it's maybe also a good idea if you guys have the chance to meet the other people behind GREENBOATS. So not only our omnipresent and very handsome Friedrich, but also, the rest of the team. Because I think that's really what makes GREENBOATS special. We are a diverse group of people with very different backgrounds, and we are glued together by culture and by our big ambition. And it's great fun to work here for anybody. I'm not only saying that as an advertisement, but also out of conviction. Nevertheless, if you're interested, feel free to send us your application. So what is it that I'm doing at GREENBOATS? Obviously, I'm not a boat builder. I don't know that much about boats, to be honest. It's good that we have a clear division of labor here in the company. My background is in economics and entrepreneurial finance. And what I really love doing, and what I fell in love with basically from the first time I heard about what Friedrich is doing, I like to bring an idea to a prototype to a serial product, to really walk up that steep and adventurous path. And when I met Friedrich, it was just very nice to see that there's a person with really big talent and a big heart, who's really loves what he's doing and is really fighting hard for it. But it was also, of course, obvious that, there's some stuff which is out of his skill set and we have to complement. So we started working together in late 2017. In the first 1-2 years, there was already a lot that we could accomplish together, let's say, in the sense that I was adding a bit the business side, and he was had more and more freedom to focus on the product side, and we got more and bigger projects coming in, also some serial products, and growing the team and so on. Now we're at the point where we are developing and growing our engineering business unit, and especially we're growing our production. So we are becoming a bigger and bigger team, and you can expect quite some big and amazing stuff in the next month, so stay tuned. So what is the stuff I'm doing? Again, the second time I'm introducing my own work. I come up, I work on the business side. I have to make sure that we have funding for this stuff we're doing. You can imagine that, especially working with prototypes, is quite a risky business, Things can go wrong, things often go wrong. So we have to calculate and prepare for that. We have to diversify as much as possible. We have to calculate. We have to try to tap into R&D funding. We have to attract investors throughout. We have to attract talent. We have to hire. So these are things where I come in. I also do take care a bit of the marketing, although I have to say that's quite an easy job because the guys in the workshop provide me basically with material for it. I'm trying to create a scalable framework. That's what I'm busy with a lot. I try to move all our systems onto Google Workspace so that we have a way that communication internally becomes fully transparent. So we don't have this bilateral talk between two people, but when two people are talking, basically they can do it in a chat group, and that chat group is visible to anybody in the organization. So I think that's very important. Transparency is very important to us. We have the idea that we work in a company which is meritocratic. So the idea is that the best ideas win, not ego. No, we don't have space for ego. If an intern comes around with a great idea, with a great solution, how to build something at lower cost with a high performance or more sustainably, then he will have the stage from day one, basically. And yeah, I think we also believe, especially in a growing company, it's very important to have this really clear set of values and transparency. This way, people kind of know what they are committing themselves to. I refer to this a bit like logging in and logging off. So you can log into GreenBoats, come in, bring your talents. We provide you with this stage, that you can also make a career for yourself. But also eventually, if you have also the chance to log off and nobody's going to be mad at you, because we have a clear communication about expectations on all the different levels. Okay, I have on my list here 2 points I wanted to mention. So we have the frameworks, for example, I think are important. They are like kind of a tool to enable this communication, between these all various kind of backgrounds. So one would be the 3-dimension of sustainable composites. That means that we typically say, imagine you're in a space defined by 3 axes. You have on one axis cost, like you would have for any product. On the second axis, you have performance, for example, measured in weight or stiffness. And then on the 3rd dimension, we have sustainability, for example, proxied by a life cycle assessment. And now you have to imagine at the point 000, that's where the conventional product is. That's where your, Bavaria sailing boat is positioned. And now here comes GreenBoats. With our technologies, we're using natural fibers as reinforcement material. That will, of course, have an impact on everything else being the same, already having an impact on the CO2 footprint of the product. So we move around the sustainability axis. At the same time, what we're doing could have an impact on cost. Well, now we have to understand cost. Cost is not only the price, of course, or the sticker price you pay for a product, but it's also the lifetime cost. So let's assume maybe the product is a little bit more expensive at purchase. However, your recycling costs are a lot cheaper. Again, you have to see this in a very dynamic context, but I'll come to this later when I talk about the 3 dimensions. But just think about these 3 axes when you determine the value proposition that we're offering, with our products, and also that we're offering to our clients who develop products with us. And then the second thing, another framework that we created is the 3 dimensions. So we basically say that we have 3 horizons in our work. The first horizon being, let's say, anything from when Friedrich started the company in 2013 until recently, and I would describe that whole period as a time of getting people excited, showing people what's possible. I mean, people were coming to our stand and they were asking if you can smoke our boat on, and saying all these other kind of funny statements which show that, apparently it was not even perceivable for them that this would be possible. Building, any kind of performance or lightweight product with sustainable materials. I would say this period is now coming to an end, and we're in a transition from Horizon 1 to Horizon 2. Horizon 2 meaning anything that's going to happen from now, probably for the next 10, 15 years, meaning that by scaling up our manufacturing, by just really focusing on the niches, on the applications that we think are best to add value using our materials, we're going to compete, we're going to come up with products that provide equal or higher value than conventional products. And this could be the Flux 27, for example, which is price-wise comparable to other day sailors of that size. However, it comes at a really high quality. I mean, if you buy a boat built in epoxy infusion, that's quite like top-notch, no matter independent of the reinforcement material. And of course, it's when you compare the sustainability, we are saving a lot. Conservative estimate would be that we save about half the CO2. And again, it really depends on what kind of life cycle assessment you use. But let's just say it's incomparably much better, much more sustainable than a conventional product. Everything else being the same. So that's Horizon 2. And in the end, I think that's something everybody here in the company is kind of agreeing on. We know that eventually, at some point in the future, Horizon 3, maybe that's good to start with you. From the beginning, we know one day sustainability is going to be priced perfectly into the product. Anything else will be nonsense, right? But that's a funny thing about transformation. Transformation always takes some time. It doesn't happen overnight. So we know it is eventually going to happen. When it will be the case, we don't know. So we are preparing for that moment in time by creating already today the infrastructure needed to build more sustainable products. And So these are 3 dimensions. I hope when this video plays, a very smart guy is going to put the slides up here somewhere, so you get a better understanding, and my words will make hopefully a little bit more sense. But anyway, I hope you had a bit of an introduction and you now know a little bit more about GreenBoats and got a little view behind the scenes. Have a good day.